Welcome, Divine. Welcome to Golden Mission 144. How are you guys? How are you? Yes, the full moon energy of Pisces came in. Woo! And everybody felt all those feelings. Not only did everyone feel all those feelings, this experience was ruled by the planet of Neptune that can also put you in that spacing, that divine spacing. So you guys might have been feeling some type of way, but you don't see anything like you saw it before. You see you in your experiences, candid and clear. And you have the strength to sit there and see yourself in all angles. Some of those experiences you're looking back at and you're going, ew, why was I showing up that way? No worries. Love to yourself for the stepping stool that you stood on to get where you are today. It was necessary. Why? Because it happened. That's that. Let's look into this reading. This is, let me tell you, the karmic world, which is that in which is passing away, that in which is clinging to the old order system of things. We know that the divine, that we go by the divine being God, the divine of all things, is about a new thing. What is a new thing? Ascending, for this planet to get better and better, for the human experience to be better and better. When you go back and you think about where human beings were in the years ago, and remember, we really go by that decade, So in the decades, so we go really heavy on our 10. And when you go back, you can see civilization living in different ways. And each generation gets to release those holds and step into newfound gold, which is ascending to a new way of living that's better. Some ascended to having more money. Some ascended to having more freedom. Some ascended to having relationships that were no longer abusive. Some ascended to having parenting where they had good relationships with their kids. These are the generational hold breakers. That would be you. That would be you. As a light worker, you were birthed into a dark experience and you have transformed it to light in many areas. We are here right now because you are doing it some more with some other stuff. And not only that, you've transformed so much stuff to light that your life is now on an ascended plane, which means that even though sometimes things don't feel good, it ain't like it was before. Even if sometimes it seems like a delay in your manifestation, it doesn't freak you out like it did before. You are in a newfound place of stabilization is what's happening right now with the divine collective. Well, in being in that space, what we have is that the karmic world is now fixated on you. Hey! But they're fixated on you in the way of they did not realize how much power you have. I'm almost getting like, shoot, I was shocked too. Many of you are coming into your powers. You heard when I came on, I told you that this channel, I was here about your mission. Yes, we came in with the light stuff because everybody knows the numbers and the dreams and the deja vu. So it's the light stuff. but we are moving into the time where we really know how to allow our advanced clear sight to work for us. And that is what makes it your superpower. You know how to use your empathic gifting. Many times before, your empathic gifting was working against you. In many ways, you feel stuff, and then your physical body would do all kinds of stuff. Now it's not in control. You are able to go within, and you can determine now better routes for yourself, which makes you a co-creator, which allows you a positioning on this earth plane in which you can begin to not only support and be a part of the hands-on in the guiding of your steps, you also have others who are coming right behind you because you are guiding them to ascended ways of being. What is that? Feeling good in whatever you're doing, and now you're breaking it down to this, and this. And you're so surprised at the things that you're questioning. It's like, look, do I really like this? Does this feel good? Does this work for my family? Is this healthy? Is this conducive to me? Is this mentally and emotionally good for me? You are really looking into your well-being in ways you've never done before. So your ascension journey has changed. It's not just going to the underworld and trying to dig yourself up from the trenches. It is being up, looking around, and saying, I want to decorate this life in various ways now. You're no longer fearful of the dark because you have recognized that all of your life you have aligned with dark and had the ability to transmute it to light. All right, so now that the karmic world is fixated on what you are doing, let's get in here and see what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about here. And if you are lost in the sauce in any type of way, there is a course down below in the description. You can go into Generation Holds to Gold School, and you will see my teachings there on the journey. It will also be updated throughout this journey, and you will always have access to those updates throughout the journey. Because understand, God is about doing a new thing. And this is constant elevation. It's just not all that heavy turbulence. We're getting rid of all that heavy turbulence from my desire, my vision, what is landed on my heart and spoke to me that I desire or need to move towards, that you see in clear sight, sometimes within your inner eye, visually, or you hear it, or you are able to be in tune with the physical elements around you that are speaking it to you, and you know that is for you. What we do is we work on the time and space between getting from there to full manifestation. Your ascension process is allowing you to shorten the gap, shorten the trials and tribulations, because you have clear sight, which allows you the advantage of which way to go and what to do. That is why having a divine guidance system puts you on a whole nother leveling game here on earth. When you know yourself and you know how to work yourself in self-mastery of I know how to listen to me and hear what me is telling me to make sure that we're doing the best for me. Oh, you have the earthly advantage. and you inherit it as a pure heart. Because clearing those things out of there is what allows your vessel open to receive divine guidance. To align with the divine, you align with the principles of the divine, because you have to be in that energetic spacing. Not that it's not always there. It's that you are able to hear and see. And now you're understanding that there is nothing more valuable. That there is nothing more valuable than the gold of being able to be at one with yourself and know what you're doing mentally, emotionally, and physically in a space of alignment, to where whatever is coming towards you in this earth life, that you stay intact. And it allows you your full power and the advantage. Let's get into this reading. Five of Cups comes up here in reverse. This is that news and alliances of false projects. See, this is important because many in the karmic world align to you through false pretenses. And what's happening is that they're getting new news about that, which is that they identified you as one way. Almost like I'm getting, they sized you up, summed you up, kinda. But it was false. It was all inaccurate. Uh-oh. We just aligned with the music in a beautiful flaming fire space to let us know we hit it. So they are starting to see that I'm getting that the identification that they had of you is completely untrue. We know that for sure, because then the judgment comes up. What the judgment is about is that change of position, that renewal. So if we change in position, you know what that's about. This is a judgment card. This is what we always talk about when we say Judgment Day. We go to the state of the mind of Judgment Day. We go to the state of the mind of the experience of Judgment Day in the experience. And this judgment is coming up and it says change of position, renewal. And this is the judgment that happens over and over on the earth. And what this means is that the last become first. The truth is coming to light. These are universal principles through cause and effect that are set. They're universal laws. It's like it doesn't matter whatever you believe or whatever you align to. This stuff just automatically happens as a part of the makings of the earth. Universal laws. Doesn't matter where you're located. Doesn't matter your government systems. Doesn't matter what race you're in. Doesn't matter what social class you go to. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter any of that. These are universal laws. Check out the dual channel to this one, where we talk about those ascension keys. I mean, it's really, really all about those 1111 activations of really knowing how this thing works, to be able to now take the mastery of yourself and align it with the universe in a way that you just go, instant manifestation. And when those two come together, there is nothing that they cannot receive. I know Marissa would comment and she'd say, it's amazing how those biblical principles all make sense now. You know, everything, you guys, I tell you, it doesn't matter if you read The Tortoise and the Hare, and then you have been programmed with the Bible as well. everything that was sent your way was to give you these golden nuggets of who you are and how this system runs. Everything is to be used. Everything works together for your good. We don't war against that past knowledge. We take our gold from it and we keep on ascending. It's constant elevation. Everything is a stepping stool. We're grateful. We're grateful. And we honor it by stepping up, by leveling up. And what's happening here is that there is a change of position that is happening because of how the divine feminine and the divine masculine have been able to balance and align themselves in that oneness, and aligning themselves in that oneness has allowed them to respond in new ways, act in new ways, do different things. And in doing that, there's been a change. And the divine feminine and the divine masculine are now being seen for who they are. They're now shining. You guys are shining bright. What happened is that the divine feminine and divine masculine can no longer deny who they are. So in no longer being able to deny who they are to themselves, it's creeping out of you more and more. I'm getting, whenever you go places and you're thinking that you're not showing up in your highest self, which is saying and doing things that you're being guided to do without stopping and evaluating what everybody else is doing. That's really all it is when you follow your inner guidance, is what are you being guided to do? Are you checking with society before you make that move? Or are you allowing yourself to be guided within? Have you gotten yourself to the place of trusting and honoring yourself that you can be safe with you? That you are able to make decisions in following your guidance that come out to where it serves you. And many of you have gotten to that place now where you feel like, look, I've been knowing what I've been talking about. I was just going along with this stuff. And I don't even know why I did it. Like, I always knew it was tomfoolery. And it's like, but now you're not even acting like you don't know. It's almost like, yeah. But what you're noticing is that it's taking you from this place, which is coming up, which is that 8 of Swords. So you're no longer in that bad news, that conflict, that crisis, that violent charging. That's what this card is all about. And you can see the entrapment and the swords around you, and you see the eyes covered. So that's the blindness. So it's like, I'm no longer asleep. I'm no longer blind to what's going on. I'm no longer blind to who's for me and who's not for me. So I can see who's for me and who's not for me. And I can align in the ways that serve me. So what we're getting is that the divine feminine and the divine masculine are getting to the point where it's like, dang, we cannot entrap them like we used to entrap them. And it's almost coming in like, hey, we can't just say some stuff and manipulate them. Or we can't just, the breadcrumb them. We can't breadcrumb them and make them think they're fulfilled. We can't say that slight remark to them and it be all good, because they know who they are. They're seeing through these things, and they are not allowing us to entrap them in that space of where we can take them down. They see clearly and they don't allow us to bond them up. So that's that change of position. It's not that the swords aren't still coming. It's just that, look right here. It's the divine feminine and divine masculine have recognized that, hey, they're at the 7 of Wands. Even though it's coming towards you guys, you recognize that you have the advantage in being in alignment with yourself. Yeah, being in an alignment with yourself. And it gives you that advantage. All right, guys, the grass is being cut. And I'm thinking, I guess it's just going to harmonize with us. So we keep it moving, right? So yes, the divine feminine and the divine masculine are in a different placing. And the karmic world realizes it. It's like, dang, even when I come against them, they still come out on top. Even when I try to do anything, send anything, think anything, say anything, try anything, they always come out on top. How is it that they always come out on top is what's so heavy coming through. And this is what's being addressed in the karmic world. They're starting to see, they're like, dang, look, they end up with more options. More options. And even though it looks like to me on my end is what the karmic world is saying, like these things are temporary, it's like, but they still just keep getting more. So it's like they understand at this point that right here, the bottom of the deck, they understand that the divine feminine and divine masculine energy of this planet, and when we speak about it, we speak about energy. So it doesn't matter what bodysuit. We're talking about the alignment of that yin yang, that light dark, that oneness, that feminine, that masculine energy, the alignment of that on this planet. That we come here and it's just like, this is the bottom of the deck. So the karmic world is like, look, it does not matter. They're recognizing that there's been a change of position. That even though they aligned with you guys in false projects and these things that they were trying to kind of manipulate, make happen, use, take advantage, slander, slay you. All of these things that they recognize that you develop strength, but you developed what they see now is supernatural strength, because it's like, I don't know how they do it. They're like, I don't know how they do it. Why aren't they upset? Why aren't they mad? Why aren't they doing this? And the thing is that you are upset and you are mad. But what I'm getting when it comes in with the Page of Swords is that you have authority. You have the authority over examination and oversight of yourself. So whenever you get upset and you get mad, you're not really going to them to do anything about it. You know how to balance and align yourself. You've developed a whole full list of what you need. A whole full list of what you need. And in having that list of what you need internally for you, and that you know who to stay away from, at that point in time, you know where to go. You know, they know what to eat, what not to eat. They know what they need to increase in their life at that time period. They know if they need to go branch in and learn something new, do something new. You know how to get the energy moving and working. The energy moving and working. You know how to transform energy to shift your life. So you have that authority. You have that secret authority over yourself. The music just met us in a flame of oneness. Because that is what it's about, you know. That's really, really cool. So they are fixated on this stuff that is coming in. You know what I mean? So there's a difference here. There is a difference in the treatment that you are receiving from people. They want to know you. They want to be around you. And then there's a difference in treatment with other people. There is a divide because the vibrational match in the switch from last to first allowed you to be on an opposing polarity according to their sight, not yours, their sight. And it's okay to respect the sight of others. If they see you in a position or a place that is opposite of where they feel like that they can attend, it's almost like saying, hey, there's a party going on, or hey, there's this event that I want to go to, or hey, I want to see this play. Let's go watch this. Let's go to this game. And the person that you are talking to, and understand you've been in this position yourself many, many times. The person that you are talking to and that you are dealing with believes in that space that they're not in a position that they can show up, meaning that they can't balance out their anxiety enough to be in the building. They are still dealing heavily with their body issues and the way they're looking and feeling, to the point where when you're just free, they can't release enough from that. They're still having issues of the money in my hand determines my value and my worth. So this time I can align, this time I can't. This time I can align, this time I can't. Where they're ruled by the dollar. So it depends on that end whether or not you get yeses or nos. Still in those bondage points. But when they look over at you and they see that you live a life of no limitation, and they're like, how on earth are they doing all of that? When I feel like the force of the world is coming at me when I try to make steps. So they are fixated on you in that way. They recognize that they are powerless when it comes to you. Now there is a fixation when it comes to you. There may be things that you experience that we have in this spread coming out down under the bottom, that it is really heavy, and it's just kind of like, look, these are things that you have experienced when this energy is like this, and these are a way for you to kind of see how you transformed this, and how you will continue to do so. But it also acknowledges when we come out here with the devil being first, like all four of these came out together. And this is that force, but we also know it's that linking and codependent bonded relationship that the divine masculine and the divine feminine would have to things that just did not serve them. And that's what we look at when we say that devil energy is, I'm having to be stuck continuously in a space in my mind and in my heart and in my physical surroundings that does not serve me. And I am tormented, but I can check out of it every now and then, but I still return to this space because I can't go far. I'm chained. So I can't mentally go too far perception-wise to get me out of it, because I'm chained. So I end up going back to that space where I feel limited and where I can't ascend to a new place. So it's like that codependent relationship. I'm stuck with a person, place, thing, or situation. It does not allow me to ascend, which is grow, evolve, level up to an ascended new place in whatever area that is that has you bonded. Well, what we have right here is that you guys have experienced this quite a bit. So even though you're at the place where you're at a power play when it comes to the karmic world, it's also when it comes to your feeling and the energy that you have within, that it has other places that you guys are sitting in. So it's like, shoot, man, there was a lot of force. There was a lot of force that you guys had to fight to break free from these chains. And then the Queen of Swords comes up, and that's that sadness, that's that embarrassment, that separation, that sterile, when it means like, okay, your things aren't birthing. You're not able to be fertile in your manifestations. And some of you even physically fertile when it comes to pregnancy. So a lot of that is like, dang it. Like, even though I have now gotten to the place of authority over all of this, and you stand in your power, no longer having to experience it like this, you see clearly the experience that you have had. And there is that sadness and that embarrassment surrounding the separation of you from you, and just seeing yourself in those positions in people's lives and organizations and things. It's like, dang, I felt like a slave dog in that thing, you know? It's what's coming out so heavy. Like, dang, I dealt with so much. Dang, I tolerated so much. Dang, what were you doing? It's coming out really, really heavy. And not only that, it's just kind of like, while you were in this position, it always created, and you know, this is, when you go with the Five of Wands, like, yeah, there's like a quarrel here, but it's like that sham fight type thing where you've had to deal with like that strenuous competition. And it's really, really been hard in that position because there was a struggle for you in this position to kind of get your fortune. It's almost like, again, I'm getting that all my life I had to fight. So it's like, when things come up in your mind's eye of what you should be doing, how you should be, there was always a fight to allow that spacing. And that fight is what was coming from the karmic world. And it was just like, you always had to have, and the reason it's kind of like that sham fight is like, I'm getting that to the place of like bogusness, because you've always had the power and that you were being divinely guided, which means that the divine was guiding you. So it's almost silly that you silence the divine to listen to the external world, whether it be family, partnership, any of that, business structure. It's like, I really silenced the quote divine, which is my inner guidance that was communicating to me, to follow what everybody else was doing or what they needed me to do or to show up for them. And it's like, you had your struggle continuously to get to that Ace of Pentacles. See, this is a struggle to your fortune. And then what is that fortune? That Ace of Pentacles, which is that, that's that perfect contentment. That's that felicity. That is that peace. That's that gold. That's that gold. So it's like you've struggled to get to that place because the way you were being treated, these false alignments within the karmic world in which you're now overpowered that. And not only have you overpowered, they know it. They're like, dang it, every dart I throw, this joker just goes blah, blah. I almost feel like we need a magician card here because that's exactly it. It's blah, blah. And it's like, they still rise. So the karmic world is so fixated on you right now. So it's almost like the energy has swapped. And it's like, what was first before is now last. There is an obsessiveness that the karmic world is having on looking at you and how you're just kind of throwing up in the air. All of these different things are just kind of like coming for you and you have authority over it. It's like, how is it that they're getting all that opportunity? And it's like, no, it's not that they're getting all of that opportunity. It's that you don't have the garbage inside of you that stops your opportunity. If you need any support with that, go to the description. If you don't understand how to transmute or whatever transmute is, which is to transform the darkness within your life, that's whatever is not working and serving you, then it's down in the description to support you. And this is what the karmic world is looking at, and they're like, okay, I don't know I don't know what it is fully, but I can't even deny it at this point. Like, they're not folding. So you'll find many now who are coming on the support wagon of you, and then you'll have many who are in a broken hearted space of their understanding that there's new news about these alliances, and that new news about these alliances is the change of position, and they understand now who's boss. Yeah, they understand who's boss. And it's like, what do you mean who's boss? Who's boss over your life? They understand now who's boss over your life. You're boss over your life. And that's anyone, any relationship. You are always boss over your life because you have your own individual journey in which you're divinely guided. It won't work being guided by somebody else's journey. Because as now that you've accepted who and how you are, you recognize that you have always kind of been the way you are. And that there was a denial, not an absence. And that's a different ball game. We get the protection guardian that comes out here. And I wanted to check out and see what that is when we start talking about the angel and ancestors. So the protection guardian comes and it says to us, drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestors, guides are here to help you realize this now. Call in all of your belief system, whatever it may be. See, the thing is, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters if you believe it. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters if you believe it. Most of the things that are out there lead to one type of thing, which is to change your vibration. Change your vibration to a new ascended way of life. But when you go into those beliefs, it's important to believe them. The belief system that I was born into was Christianity. I went on and became a studier of several religions. That is just who and how I am. So you'll see a docket of me with knowledge and alignment with several religions. But like what was acknowledged before, when you really understand about seeing through and believing what you believe, you're able to allow those systems to work for your good. All systems work for your good. And I know you heard that music Align, but it is really shifting out of that limiting place that anything is wrong with you, because the karmic world has now noticed that there is nothing wrong with you and that there's never been anything wrong with you. And not only is there not anything wrong with you, they're like, oh my goodness, they got the juice. Oh my goodness, they vibe high. Oh my goodness, they really know this stuff. They're seeing your fearless nature. They're seeing you enjoy life. They're simply seeing you authentically enjoy life, which means you can be in the same spacing and placing as others, but you are in an entirely different vibration. And people are like, wow, I feel this way, and they feel that way. And we are here in the same way. What happened? What are they? Who are they? It's a beautiful time on earth. I am going to do an extended. Why? Because we are now going into deeper knowledge spaces. This extended will be something that you can grab down below. We're going to go into specifics. We'll go into really calling things out and using our intuition in those beautiful ways to where we like to see, you know, things kind of roll in. That was said. And we're going to get deeper insight on really what you guys are going through. Some of you guys are leaping into new knowledge about specific situations and what's going on. There seems to be really right here in the root chakra, in the shadow, just all of this coming out, letting us know that be devoted and committed coming out with this. It's really, I can even see a summary of this right now. It's going deeper into really what you're going through. So you're really, some of you guys are really in the process of transmuting some things right now. So this gives us a chance to go into things deeper, get down to some specifics, but also make it affordable for people who cannot actually get those individuals, in which I don't even do those anymore. When we meet, I allow my vibrational energy space to light up your situation so you can see clearly where it is that that spacing is that is causing your gapping. So it's kind of a different type of process to support you on your ascension journey. So this is a way that you can have that. And, you know, as for right now, I might go into it a little bit deeper, but that's what the reading space is that I support in. So it's just not the traditional. But as we go into the extended, if you're part of the collective, and anything that I said jogs out to you, resonates with you, then you'll kind of want to join me with that so we can give you some additional support. Because some of you guys have some real snake type situations being revealed to you, and you are really having to sit in that and see who is who and what is what. And it looks like there's some additional support needed, and why we're going that route. The golden mission, I'll see you guys over at the extended, and you'll probably see more and more readers doing extendeds right now to help in this energy, because you're getting to the point now where it's like you're seeing clearly in front of you, both in all the options, and so your readings are going to look a little bit different, but they are collective supported, which also supports you. So it's almost like that spiritual bank thing where you're not having to call any type of hotlines for your specific reading. You are part of a collective, so you can actually check into these extendeds and really get what you need. The golden mission. The golden mission is union. Union within self, then union with others.